Hey, gun people. Well, I gotta check out police activity more often because they usually have some pretty good videos, and unless somebody sends me a link, I just don't go there. So this morning I'm sitting here drinking my coffee, and I'm like, let me see what's happening on police activity. This is a pretty good little video. So this is and I think I'm gonna side with the cops on this one again. So if you're mad at me and you want to hate cops, this may not be the video you want to watch. I got plenty of other videos where I hate on the cops. So, this guy was already shooting at traffic. He fired multiple rounds. He finally ended up wrecking his car. Cops showed up. Here we go.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! Taser. Come on.
Okay. You hear the guy on the radio? If you're not listening, you'll miss it because I missed it the first time. He does not have a gun, the guy says on the radio. Listen.
Taser. Come on. Get out!
So right about here is where the guy tases him, and when a guy's rolling like this, which I thought was a pretty unique move.
Come on.
He puts his hands up like he's going to give up, and then he goes into this perfect little yeehaw, which pretty, I got to admit, I thought I've seen a lot of suspects do a lot of things in my years. I don't think I've had anyone do a roll when they were running at me. So this is a first for me. So he does his little roll. He gets his gymnastic roll in, and as he's getting up, the guy hits him with a taser. The problem with this is, it's actually a good tactical move because it's very hard to hit him with a taser. I don't know if he was doing it not to get shot or if he was trying to avoid the taser. The smaller you make yourself as a taser, the better, because the prongs both have to hit you with some distance in order for it to work. So when you're rolling, the odds are when you're making yourself a small ball that one dart will miss you. So pretty good move on his part right here. He does shoot him about right here. You'll see the little, on the other camera it's better, but right here you can see the prods and the wires going out. And then goes straight into a charge and an attack. This is difficult because they all had a guy with a gun, so they all got their long guns out. Probably they're on fire. This cop's aiming at this cop. The other cop is from the other direction aiming at these two cops. They set up a circle of wagon shit. Instead of the other cop all being here, they would have 4 cops on this side. But they didn't. One guy got in front of him, which happens sometimes. You know, you don't want to go with the next group. There's too many people here. You're going to try to get a better angle. I don't know what the cop was thinking, but he pulled in front of him. So now you got long guns. You're trying to fight with a guy very hard. Luckily, this guy isn't what I'm calling trained fighter and attacking. He kind of lunges and does it, but he doesn't really go in for target strikes. He's not trying to take out the TMJ, a throat, or the groin area and trying to take one of these guys out. So he's basically kind of just grabbing, fighting, and rolling. And that's why they were able to kind of get him on the ground. Get on the ground! The fact that he's growling and doing this rah tells me he's probably on some sort of, you know, psychedelic, bath salts, whatever the drug of the month is.
All right. Hey, watch the guns.
Good move on watch the guns. Everybody's pointing at everybody. Probably nobody's got their finger on the trigger, but they're still trying to hang on to the pistol grip. A trigger could get hot if it's pointed at the suspect or another officer. Somebody can get shot. So these guys kind of got, you know, when you get charged, you get caught with your pants down.
All right, if you got a long rifle, get off of him. I'm good.
Okay, so one guy says we got a long rifle, get off of him. I'm assuming the guy that said that probably did not have a long rifle, and he didn't want to get shot. So he's like, dude, give me some fucking space. I don't want to get hit by a freaking stray round because you guys are fighting with a long rifle. But, and of course, like all cops, nobody listened.
I'm good. Come on.
Here's a different angle.
Put your hands up! Put your hands up! I'm going to go taser.
So this guy went from a long gun to taser. Good move on his part. I think this was an excellent job. This guy's already shot people. Deadly force was authorized. I get into this a lot, and people seem to be confused about it. Once deadly force is authorized, it doesn't mean you can shoot a guy 30 minutes later, 2 days later, etc. This guy was shooting at people driving by. Deadly force, absolutely 100% justified, and I've said 1,000 times, the Supreme Court says, once deadly force is authorized, there is no requirement for an officer to use less than deadly force. People don't like it, but it's true. It's the law. However, if deadly force is not authorized, when you use deadly force, you get in a jam. So if some cop shoots this guy right now and goes, you know what? He already shot at people. Deadly force is authorized. Supreme Court says once deadly force is authorized, I don't have to use less force so I can shoot him. And he shoots him. This would be an unjustified shoot because there was no immediate threat. The guy didn't have the same deadly force justification. Now, if he shot somebody and he's running away, they could shoot him in the back because he's committed a deadly assault. He's obviously a danger to the public. He could have another gun. If he gets away, he could take hostages or steal a car or kill more people. So that and again, some people just can't grasp that, and unless you're in it all the time and reading case law and understanding and teaching this, sometimes it's hard for the layman to grab. You can shoot a guy in the back if he's not armed. People will tell you can't. They're wrong. If I come up to you and I shoot your wife and I drop the gun and run away and you don't shoot me, and you go, you can't shoot a guy in the back and he doesn't have a gun. Well, that's because you're an idiot. And then I pull out another gun and I turn and I shoot your child. And then I drop the gun. And you go, oh, you killed my wife and my child with 2 different guns. And now you're running away. And because your back's to me, I can't shoot you because you don't have a gun. Well, that's because you're an idiot. So in that situation, you can shoot a guy in the back. This guy, I don't know if he's killed somebody with that rifle. Even if he did kill somebody with the rifle, you can't say I was afraid he'd get away and hurt somebody. He is running at you unarmed. There is no immediate threat to you or anyone else. And for you to justify that you are afraid, and I think somewhere in something I read, he threw the gun out the window that he was using. So we know he's not armed. He was using a long gun, I think. Could he have a pistol in his back? Sure he could. And you can try and sell that and be all macho and, I'd have shot him. I ain't taking a chance. I ain't my life. I'm going home. I'm a cop. I'm not out here to die for these guys. And you can play all that bullshit and roll the dice. And to be honest, most of the times you're probably going to win. The courts and the DA won't freaking charge you, which is bullshit, which is why cops roll the dice all the time. And once more cops start going to jail, cops will stop rolling dice. So these cops did good. They should not shoot him. This is not deadly force. He's charging them someone else. Another cop will come here because they're always trying to justify it and prove me wrong. Well, Rick, when he grabbed that cop, he could have very easily got his gun, and once you try to disarm a cop, you can shoot him. You can, but you got to prove it. It's not going to look good. There was a bunch of cops around. And again, I don't think this guy was trying to grab a gun. I don't think this guy was a threat. He was probably, 110 pounds sweat? I mean, this guy's not a threat to me. I don't care if he is crazy. I'm not willing to shoot somebody, me personally, because he's crazy and he's charging me and he wants to fight. There's a lot of pussy-ass cops out there. Well, Rick, I got a family to go home to, and I can't afford to get hurt. And you know what? If there had been a woman here, she'd have probably shot, and she'd have been okay, because women are allowed to have more fear. But, Rick, I thought women were equal. Well, they are, unless it's to their advantage, then they're not equal. So, anyway, here we go.
5, turn around and get off at 470.
Get down!
Go down
So right as he comes up, you're going to see him tase him. I don't know if both darts hit or not here.
475.
Right here is where he tases. He comes up. Boom. So did both darts hit or did one miss? He's kind of a small target and he's rolling. And darts coming out of a taser, this cop, if he really understood the taser, should have turned his taser sideways, like gangster style. Rick, you said that's not a good stance. It is for a taser because taser darts come out. The top one goes straight and the bottom one goes off at an angle downward. So his chance of hitting him on a horizontal target is less. If the vertical target, it's more. They're designed to shoot people standing up. So one dart goes straight and one goes down, and you get the separation of both darts hit. So turning the taser sideways now could benefit him getting both darts in a person. Rick, you're contradictory. You're always contradictory. You say, God, shut up, you freaking crybabies wanting to come here trying to say I got you instead of freaking listen. All right, here we go. Okay, so he grabs the guy. Is he a threat? I mean, he's got a taser in one hand and a long gun. These cops have their guns. Again, I don't think the guy's a threat. I think he's just trying to commit suicide by cop, and he wants to fight or he's on drugs.
Get on the ground! Get on the ground!
Now, I'm really surprised nobody butt-stroked him. And I know I'm going to be called a jackboot for this, but if you run up with me with a rifle and I can't shoot you, you're going to be spitting out little white chiclets, also known as teeth, because I'm going to butt-stroke the hell out of you to get you off me. That would have been totally justified. But Rick, you said if you hit somebody in the head with an impact, that's deadly weapon, and you're contradicting, you don't know. Well, that's because you're an idiot. Whatever. I would have butt-stroked the guy, personally. If you run up on me with a rifle, I'm using the butt, has an impact weapon, and I'm going to get you off me.
All right. Come on, get your hands up!
So this is the guy that came from the other side, and he set up the crossfire. Remember, anytime you're in a position where the suspect can run in between you and other officers or friendlies, if you're a civilian, you're working with a team, anytime you allow somebody the ability to run in between you, you give the suspect the ability to either stop you from firing because you don't want to hit your friends, or he causes you to fire and you end up shooting your friends. That's why, tactically wise, you don't ever want to be in a position where the suspect or the person that you're hunting or trying to get at you can get in between you and your partners.
He does not.
So this is the guy that puts out he does not have a gun. He's got a clear view. I don't know if he gave these guys enough time to react. He tried. I think all these cops did a pretty good job. I got no problem with this other than this setup right here. This guy couldn't shoot him right now if he produced a gun anyway because he'd be shooting at these cops. And if these guys shot at him in a second, they'd be shooting at this guy.
Not have a gun. He's running at you. Just use a taser.
So again, the guy's moving in between them. And now, right now, we got a Percy crossfire. If this guy grabs this dude, gets one of their guns, and shoots one of them, this guy really can't even shoot or help him at this distance. Okay, so in this one, man, I hate to say it, because I know I'm going to piss off all my little cop haters. Cops did a pretty good job, man. You got to give the devil their due. I got no problem with this one. All right, well, in that there.